Then we get to February 20th, when the Saturn-Neptune conjunction is exact at 0 degrees 45 Aries. This is when the year of the fire horse really gets going, and that's just Friday. I'm recording this on Wednesday. So it's happening now. It's exact on Friday. I've covered the Saturn-Neptune conjunction in my annual forecast because it's such a major aspect for this year. The cycle of Saturn and Neptune conjunctions happen every 36 years. So the last one was in Capricorn, November 13th, 1989. But what's important to know about the 2026 conjunction is that it's at 0 degrees of Aries at the Aries point. And Brianna Saucy, a fellow mystic, reminded me in one of her recent newsletters that the last time these two planets met at the Aries point, the very first degree of the first zodiac sign, right, 0 Aries, that was approximately 9,000 years ago. That's around 7,000 BC, when humanity was first developing agriculture. Talk about a sea change for humanity. First developing agriculture, that's the scale of the change that astrologers are talking about when we discuss this year's Saturn-Neptune conjunction at 0 Aries. Saturn and Neptune always create big changes, dissolving old structures and creating new ones every 36 years. But this time, we're talking about a change of a larger magnitude, something that we'll look back on as the beginning of a brand new cycle for humanity, for the world. So the difficult part of predicting anything of this larger magnitude is that it's likely not to be a single event, but a wave of change in our beliefs, our thinking, the way we structure society. It's not necessarily going to be pinpointed to that single day of February 20th, although there may be a marked event this week. When historians talk about the arc of history, what Richard Tarnas was writing about in Cosmos and Psyche, his academic study of Western history's intersections with astrology, it's these big shifts in beliefs and culture that mark periods of human history. And those aren't really quite as visible from the ground while we're in it. Right? Historians make it look neat and clean as they curate history and tell that narrative, but we know that no historical narrative is objective anyway. So we're talking about humongous shifts that will mark an age of humanity. That's what you're living in. It's like being a Roman at the beginning of the Hellenistic age or living through the Reformation. And to frame how we want to envision the future, this can be liberation for us. This could be the moment when the attempts at fascism really start to dissolve and the wave of the people's will breaks through. The wave of the people's will breaks through that barrier. And when I said I almost named my 2026 forecast the year of fire and ice in reference to Norse mythology, I wasn't even thinking about ICE, immigrations and customs enforcement. But I realized after I said that and everything that went down in Minneapolis that it's a little too on point. So bring the metaphorical fire, bring the fire of your will, because it's all of us collectively involved in this intense cycle of change.